What is good, YouTube? It's your boy The Laws Reaction. Today I got another video for y'all. Today we got making the case for LeBron James as the greatest of all time. Now we just did one on Michael Jordan a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave that video up here if y'all wanna go, or up here, wherever it's gonna be, if you wanna go check that out, right? Made some compelling points were made in that video, so I'm expecting the same for LeBron James. So but yeah, before we start the video, if you haven't done so already, man, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit that post notification bell every time I drop a new video. Follow my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, links, all of them will be down below, and I'm gonna have this video down below as well, man, if y'all want to go check it out for yourselves, man. But yeah, man, without further ado, let's get right into it. Shout out to, what's his name, the content creator, Creighton Crowley for the video. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to the vid. Shout out for the video. Man. Damn. How about Brandon Knight never recovered from that shit?
Unprecedented amount of control over the flow and outcome of a game. For this reason, players are constantly compared to their peers and to the legends of the past in order to answer the most hotly contested question in the sport. Who's the greatest to ever do it? For many, the question is redundant.
Skip Bayless, certified LeBron hater, man.
Might have their own personal stance, but acknowledge one or two alternatives. But I believe that there's much more nuance to the question of greatness and more answers to it than you might think. By my count, there are 8 players in NBA history that have a substantial claim as the GOAT. It's a subjective.
How long is the video?
I can't give you
like 30 minutes, man. Get your popcorn, get your snacks, man. It's gonna be a long video. Just to let y'all know.
As the greatest basketball player of all time.
All right, let's hear it.
Making the case for LeBron James. No. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. LeBron James isn't built like that. There's no way. There's no way that he is the GOAT.
That should be annoying. I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad to debate, but some of y'all be taking it OD when it comes to LeBron Jordan debate, bro. Like, calm the fuck down.
What are you talking about? You're making a video about LeBron. Get out of here. No. And just like that, we've started the LeBron GOAT case off right. Somebody like me makes a video like this, to which a certain segment of the population reacts by getting so mad that they start to pop blood vessels. And that's a really interesting reaction to me. I've made videos about why players like Larry Bird and Tim Duncan are the GOATs. Sure.
Me personally, bro, listen, the only GOATs that should be debated, man, is LeBron and Jordan, bro. That's pretty much it. I mean, everybody else has a case, but they don't really compare.
This video is garbage because MJ is the GOAT comments. Mostly been people having a lovely chat about the merits of new.
Bro, it's mostly, listen, bro, people that saying that stuff, bro, don't listen to them, bro. It's mostly let's high school boys, you know what I'm saying? Them freshman, sophomore people that's doing all that. Man, don't listen to them, bro. They're 14, 15-year-olds, bro. Don't leave them alone, bro.
Don't expect that to be the case today.
Maybe it's a couple juniors, maybe some seniors, bro, but bro, don't listen to them, bro.
Any other player, it's Jordan truthers so defensive. If you are
LeBron fanboys, bro. I'll be trying. Hey, yo, no, play that shit back. Hold on. I just see that shit. Hey, yo.
Of those players' careers. I don't expect that to be the case today. But why? Why is it that LeBron more than any other player gets Jordan truthers so defensive? If you are one of those volatile Jordan defenders,
hey, yo. Hell nah.
But for the rest of you, please, just humor me. Even if you think Jordan's the GOAT, hear what I have to say. We all still love basketball.
Right. I mean, yeah. Even though, you know, me personally, I think Jordan's the GOAT. Let's listen. I'm gonna listen to the points he has to make.
All still be friends.
You know, without having an argument.
James was a freshman at St. Vincent St. Mary's High School in Akron, Ohio. He posted per-game averages of 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. The Irish went undefeated, 27-0, won the state championship, and James was named the state tournament MVP. And just like that, the final year of anonymity for LeBron James was over. In the summer, between his freshman and
I
sophomore
mean, that's nice, but I don't care about the high school stats, man. Let's get into the real. Let's get to the real stuff.
word began to spread far and wide about the man-child from Akron, Ohio. In his sophomore season, he saw an increase in every box score figure. His team started playing home games at the University of Akron's arena in order to seat the thousands of spectators. His team lost one game all year and won the state championship again. He became the first sophomore ever named to USA Today's All-USA First Team. He had officially entered the territory of phenom. Scouts were infatuated with James for a number of reasons. He had every measurable you could want out of a 16-year-old. Tall, strong, good wingspan, off-the-charts athleticism. But he also had superb instincts, a natural enthusiasm for the game, an unselfish play style, preternatural passing abilities, and strong leadership qualities. Which is why, in his junior year, Sports Illustrated put LeBron on its cover. Now, this cover didn't single-handedly trigger the outrageous expectations of LeBron James, but it certainly helped. The cover acknowledged James' unprecedented talent at such an early stage, while alluding to the expectations, hopes, and wonders that such an unbelievable talent would have to bear.
The chosen one.
Beginning his junior year, James and the Irish would play their home games almost exclusively at the University of Akron's arena. ESPN2 began broadcasting their matchups to the country, and Time Warner Cable started selling his games on pay-per-view for $7.95 a pop to the Akron populace. The hype was substantiated by more incredible play from James, who improved from year to year. As a junior, he was named to a second All-USA First Team and became the first junior to
I wonder how they did it after he left.
National Player of the Year. As a senior, he won a second National Player of the Year award and was named to an unheard-of third All-USA First Team. James's junior year remains the turning point of his celebrity. It was then that he went from highly touted young prospect to inheritor of the sport of basketball. And that's the thing. We as sports fans fetishize potential. The allure of the future is endless. If a player has potential, they can be anything. It hasn't happened yet, so it's still technically possible, no matter how outrageous the expectation may be. But then if they don't succeed, we label them as failures, busts. Couldn't do it, didn't pan out. Never mind the fact that we were the ones who set the expectations to begin with. Promise is a double-edged sword, and this was promise like no other. LeBron was the first real athletic prodigy of the internet era. It was the first time that the country could whip itself up into this kind of frenzy about the next big athlete in the uber-commercialized post-Jordan NBA. These days, young prospects in every sport get enough smoke blown up their asses to host a barbecue with top 100 recruiting lists and the videos with titles calling any prospect who hits back-to-back threes the next Steph Curry.
Right.
It's too much to say that it started with LeBron, but he was undoubtedly the initial product of the hype machine we're familiar with today. He was so good at such a young age, and so many people saw him and talked about him and heard about him that the stakes were clear. LeBron James could not be a six-time NBA All-Star. He couldn't win one or two MVPs. He couldn't be the next Tracy McGrady or the next Vince Carter. He had to be the face of the league and go down in history as one of, if not the, greatest basketball players of all time.
And he proved it.
In the Sports Illustrated article, the one that called him the chosen one, a label that he embraced by having it tattooed on his back, writer Grant Wall recognized the absurdity of asking if a 17-year-old who still couldn't buy cigarettes was really the heir to the next generation of basketball. But after seeing LeBron and talking to him, Wall concedes that it was indeed the right question. Was it ever? In the 2004 NBA draft, LeBron James
Chosen
was the
3.
first overall selection by his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers. He was selected ahead of college standout Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, who had just led Marquette to the Final Four and was named an All-American, college basketball's Player of the Year, TJ Ford,
Who?
and Carmelo Anthony, who had just
TJ
led
Ford? Well, who the
Syracuse
fuck
to
is
the
that?
NCAA championship. LeBron, out of high school, went ahead of all of them, with the weight of a franchise, a city, and perhaps a league on his 18-year-old shoulders. As the most anticipated basketball player since Lou Alcindor, LeBron James could not falter. What if he'd failed? What if the $100 million shoe deals, the celebrity, and the fame had been too much too soon?
Sure, all that happened, bro. He still had his money, shit.
I don't know, but he didn't. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the incredible things that he's
Damn, that's a lot of grain, man.
platform as the country's most famous athlete. He spurred and advocated social change, especially in the realm of civil rights, from Trayvon Martin's shooting to the Black Lives Matter movement. He has been an indispensable source of goodwill and good fortune for his community. He's been the most important focal point in the era of
that's something that you have to give LeBron a lot of credit for, man. His voice in the community, especially with times like this right now, man. Like listen to people like Kim, bro. It's just like, man, this is why, like, I don't know how to really explain it, but he has a very strong voice. It's like he puts something out, you got, like, he puts something out there and we just listen, bro. And it's like he does so much for the community too, bro. Man.
Empowerment in the NBA. He didn't just defy the odds by not becoming a complete nutcase. He has leveraged his position, set an incredible example, and has been one of the best role models that any child or parent could ever ask for.
Right, 100%.
Which means that all of these accolades are subject to change, and likely will. But the only assumptions I'll be making are that LeBron finished within at least the top 5 of MVP voting this year and made first team All-NBA, which means he has been named to 13 All-NBA first teams and 16 total All-NBA teams, both records demonstrating his unbelievably prolonged reign over the sport. He's won 4 MVPs in 5 years, a feat only matched by Bill Russell, and finished in the top 5 of MVP voting in all but 3 of his 17 seasons. He's been selected to 16 All-Star games, 6 All-Defensive teams, and stands at or near the top of multiple all-time statistical leaderboards that demonstrate his all-around proficiency from playoff points scored to career assists. He has achieved such a universal...
Oh yeah, I think this video was made last year, so some of this stuff is probably not, it's most likely not accurate.
Player of all time. When James Naismith nailed a peach basket to a wall in a gym in
I think, right? Yeah, last year.
No way
Yeah.
he could have ever imagined the game as it is today. And there is no way, not in his wildest dreams, that he could have ever imagined an athlete like LeBron. The guy is 6'8", 260, built like Karl Malone, passes like Larry Bird, jumps like Michael, and surveys the court like Magic Johnson. He's not the strongest or the fastest, but he's faster than the strongest.
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's the strongest.
He has a cocktail of cerebral perception and hand-eye coordination that has made him one of the premier...
Damn, that's a nice pass.
He has a 7-foot wingspan, a lightning-quick first step, supernatural anticipation, and an IQ on both ends of the court that comes from the brain of basketball's Da Vinci. It would be enough if LeBron had just built a name and career for himself thanks to his prodigious natural talents. But he worked diligently, year in and year out, to improve himself as a basketball player. He received criticism for not using his Herculean frame to lock down opponents, and so he became a lethal defender and was twice the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. Opponents would exploit James's lack of post-game by assigning him smaller, quicker defenders. He spent the summer with Hakeem Olajuwon and became a back-down bully. To better space the floor and accommodate the modern style of basketball, he needed to improve his streaky jump shot. He became a master of efficiency, and at his best was a 40% three-point shooter. There is no aspect of basketball that LeBron James is not superb at. It's a silly hypothetical, but I think it serves my point to say that a team of 5 LeBrons would beat a team of 5 of anybody else. He always had the whole package, but he never stopped adding to it. And he's been adding to it for an insanely long time. He's been probably the best basketball player in the world since 2008 or 2009. And if your life came down to one game, he's still one of the first calls you'd make at age 35 in year 17. He can do anything, does everything, and he's never had a truly significant injury. It wasn't until 2019 that he missed a substantial amount of time because of
he had another injury. So, you know, the injuries, you know what I'm saying, start to pile up a little bit. Even though it's not much, even though it's not like as bad, you know what I mean, it's piling up a little bit, you know what I mean.
Point guards and centers alike. Add all of that to a tireless work ethic, an unselfish play style, and a penchant for big moments, and you get the queen of the chessboard. When it comes to playing basketball, he is the best at it.
Yeah, definitely that, especially that IQ, man.
It's the sound of Skip Bayless's acolytes losing their shit in my comment section. Best player ever. Big moments? No way. LeBron's terrible in the clutch. He hates
he's clutch.
shot. He doesn't have the killer instinct.
He does.
Know what it takes to come through and
He does have that killer instinct.
I don't know where this got started or how it's been able able to persist. But that's
Skip Bayless, bro. You know what I'm saying, on TV, bro. Ever since he was on ESPN, man. Like, bro, he started this, bro.
It's just factually untrue. There is an overwhelming amount of evidence to support LeBron's clutch ability and killer instinct. There's statistics that show that James is clutch. Evidence, analytics, stuff made by people who know how to do math and use calculators and stuff. And if you don't believe them because they're nerds and because basketball isn't just about numbers, then just look at the dude's results. He's hit clutch shots in the regular season.
Yeah. Still don't know how he made that shot.
And he's hit clutch shots in the playoffs. Don't tell me that he can't win games or doesn't have a killer instinct or isn't clutch or any of that shit.
Nah, he is.
Spent a lot of time playing in the biggest games too in an absolutely loaded league. In the playoffs, he has faced Gilbert Arenas, Chauncey Billups, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Dwight Howard, Derrick Rose, Al Horford and Paul Millsap, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, Paul George, Victor Oladipo, Damian Lillard, and so on.
And so on and so on, yep.
The players he's faced haven't just been eye-popping. He's lined up against some of the vaunted teams and franchises in NBA lore. He played the Spurs, the most successful post-Jordan franchise in basketball, 3 times in the finals. And then he faces the Warriors in 4 straight finals. Meanwhile, LeBron's teams always seem to be overachievers. In his first 7 seasons in Cleveland, his best teammate by a mile was Mo Williams. Yeah, one-time All-Star, Mo Williams.
Damn.
His front office can't be faulted for not trying to get LeBron help. But they certainly deserve some criticism for failing to actually get him help. Anderson Varejao, Zydrunas Ilgauskas,
Oh, hell no.
Drew Gooden, Eric Snow, Old
Oh, man, these names, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these names just make me want to just, oh my gosh. I feel you, LeBron. Like,
Wallace's corp. None of them were really bona fide quality contributors who,
Right.
in the roles they were supposed to fill, could compete and win a championship.
he just made him, LeBron just made him better. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, he's made him better.
His entire philosophy during his first stint in the land was, he's so damn good, we'll just bank on him putting up ungodly numbers and carrying us to a win every single night.
That's not gonna work.
He usually somehow did.
I mean, he did, but
Look at how the
it's not
Cavs
going to
lost
championship.
from a league high
I mean, just look at James Harden.
19,
You know what I mean? With the Rockets, it just don't work.
nothing.
And they try to get him players, it's just don't work. You know what I'm saying? Keep putting up numbers, bro. Like, it's not gonna work.
With the series tied at 2 games apiece, LeBron and the Cavs were trying to pull off an upset against the former champion Detroit Pistons nucleus on their home court. With around 3 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter and the Cavs down 7, LeBron got fouled on a drive, and so began one of the most impressive stretches of basketball ever played in any series by any player. To say that James, at age 22, proceeded to take over the game feels like an undersell. He scored 29 of the Cavs' final 30 points,
Damn.
including 25 in a row. He was transcendent, finishing with 48 points after 2 overtimes and the game-winning layup. It was a performance for the ages, but it was also almost entirely necessary.
Yeah.
The Cavs played the Spurs in the finals that
You had
year,
to.
They lost because a 22-year-old LeBron couldn't beat the Pop, Parker, Manu, Duncan Spurs by himself.
Yeah, they were too great.
Shame
Yeah.
on him. So is there any surprise
I mean, nothing he could really did.
to a real team like Miami where he didn't have to do everything? And make no mistake, it's not like he didn't still have his Atlas moments with the Heat. Game 6 of the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. The Heat are down 3-2, coming off of the decision in the 2011 Finals. LeBron and the Heat were under as big of a magnifying glass as you can get. In Boston, the Celtics had the chance to send the LeBron
Damn, Paul Pierce, bro.
Heat out by the
That boy Paul Pierce got fired from ESPN, bro. That's hilarious.
LeBron put on this face and picked the Celtics apart.
He said it's over.
30 points in the first half. In classic LeBron fashion, he was everywhere doing everything. He sucked the oxygen out of the arena and never gave it back, coming through with an all-time performance in maybe the most important game of his career.
Facts.
2013 Finals, Games 6 and 7, leading the fourth quarter charge in Game 6, hitting a crucial three with 20 seconds left to set up Ray Allen's legendary shot. 37, 12, and 4, plus the series icing jumper in Game 7. That he's had will someday fill their own multi-part documentary. We'll talk about a few more later, but the overall theme is undeniable. LeBron has lived in the playoffs and thrived under the brightest of lights, despite the unique brand of scrutiny, doubt, and criticism that is his. But none of that matters to you, because of three things: the sources of so much of that doubt and criticism, the 2010 Eastern Conference semifinals, the decision, and the 2011 finals. All three events happened within the span of about 400 days. It started with the second round of the 2010 playoffs, Boston versus Cleveland. Despite having the best record in the league, the Cavs lost in 6 to the Pierce, KG, Ray Allen Celtics.
Goes just
LeBron's
LeBron.
numbers look okay, but if you remember watching at the time, or you go back now and watch, you can tell that LeBron's just not there. He's checked out. No aggression, no urgency,
bro, I didn't know.
Attachment. He was a no-show. No one still knows.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, I'm done with this team. He was like, yo, best record in the East, and we can't get the best second round. In his head, he's thinking like, it's time for something different.
But salacious rumors persist that you can look up for yourself. Whatever the reason, the loss amped the noise around LeBron up to new levels. He can't do it. He doesn't have it. The basketball world prepared itself for one of the most consequential.
I'll say, like, it's not that he didn't want to do it, it's just the team. Which is so shit.
A 1-hour nationally televised special. LeBron was going to announce his decision on live TV. How could this go wrong? The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
Bro, the fact he was even able to like go live and do this shit, like, go looking back at it, bro, it's fucking wild. Cause you don't even see any star athletes do this shit, which is crazy.
Basketball player in the world dumped his hometown team, the most tortured sports city in America, live on television to join a super team with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. He had quit on Cleveland in the playoffs and followed it up with the mother of all backstabs. The decision remains perhaps the single meanest thing an athlete has ever done to their franchise. It was mindless, shallow, insulting, and egotistical in a profound way.
But at the end of the day, could you blame him? That's the thing.
Celebrated athletes in the country to its most hated. Cavs owner Dan Gilbert published an infamous letter tearing James apart. Fans burned his jersey in the streets. Conversations about how LeBron was wired and whether he could be the guy flooded the airwaves. But the funny thing was, I don't think anyone really faulted him for wanting out of Cleveland. It was clear that he didn't get the help that a superstar needs in order to capitalize on their talents. The criticism was first and foremost with the execution, doing it in a self-aggrandizing live TV special. The criticism quickly turned into nonsensical, inane cliches and false narratives. The same LeBron that was getting praised for his ability to cultivate camaraderie and success on abhorrent teams was now being criticized for not making his teammates fear him, whatever that means.
It's like it's
the dumbest thing LeBron could have done.
I was gonna say, like, I bet, like, before he came to Cleveland, you know, there was some shit. Came, there was nice for a while. He left, there was some shit. Came back, won a championship. They were nice, obviously. Now he left. You know, since he left, they've been shit. So it's obviously there's a trend.
They hated him. He had quit on and betrayed his team. So when the Heat lost the 2011 finals, the hate boners raged in full force.
Yeah, I know them haters was. I know them haters was going off.
LeBron choked. His scoring average.
I know the haters are having a fun time.
From 26 during the regular season, and of those 17 points a game, only 3 came during the fourth quarter, which which is especially damning considering how tight the series was. James turned himself into public enemy number 1, promised a jewelry box's worth of rings, and when the world was watching, completely flopped. There are no excuses. I can't tell you actually LeBron played really well, or that his team let him down. He sucked, he let them down, and they lost. It's a fact. Should it define him forever? No, because if we take a trip into yesteryear, we can look at a young point guard on the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1984 finals by the name of Earvin Magic Johnson. The series was the first championship meeting between Larry Bird and Magic since their record-breaking collegiate showdown. The two were now the faces of a surging NBA, revitalized thanks to their mastery and rivalry. What did Magic do? He choked. Pretty hard. In Game 2, he dribbled out the final 11 seconds in regulation of a tied game.
Y'all gonna shoot it?
Putting up a shot. The Lakers lost in overtime.
Damn.
In Game 4, Magic had his pass picked off with 4 seconds left in regulation of a tied game.
Magic,
then
bro.
In overtime, missed both free throws with 35 seconds left, with the score tied again. The Lakers lost. In Game 7, Magic turned the ball over twice in the final 90 seconds of a tightly contested game. The Lakers lost. Basketball
God damn, they got the fans running out in that motherfucker. God damn.
He didn't have what it took to come through in the big moments, despite previous evidence to the contrary. And that's not how we remember Magic Johnson. We remember him as a player who came through in big games, had big performances, and who you wanted to have the ball when the game got close. Could it be because he led the Lakers to 3 championships after his '84 meltdown? So why is it that some people's opinions on LeBron James haven't changed in the last 9 years? How are 3 championships?
Well, he has 4 now, but they're still stuck in 2011. I'll say that.
This right here, the magic bullet, 3 and 6.
4 and 6 now.
Not that he's won 3 championships, or that he's made 9 finals, or that he spent almost the entire decade of the 2010s playing June basketball. It's that he's made it 9 times and lost 6 times. Would it be better if he were 3-0 or 3-3? It is not a meaningful or insightful conversation in any capacity to boil down a player's entire career, his contributions, strengths, weaknesses, and subtleties, to just his record in the NBA Finals. How is it that making it to the finals and losing is worse than not making it at all? If you take the time to actually look at how he ended up in those series and what he actually did in them, I have no idea how you could misconstrue his finals performances as a hindrance to his case. We talked about 07, 11, 12, and 13. Of those 4, the first was a loss to a team with an actual roster and head coach. The second was a loss that can be pinned entirely on James. And the last 2 were victories. In 2014, the Spurs played absolutely divine basketball. Cannot play the game better. LeBron and Chris Bosh were the only players on the roster who showed up. Nobody else, either because of age or mileage, could handle the physical toll of a 4th straight finals. LeBron led the Heat in every stat but blocks. He averaged 28, 7, and 4 while shooting 57, 51, 79 splits. As Mike Tyson said to Sports Illustrated, the Spurs won because they deserved to, not because of what LeBron didn't do. You're out of your mind if you think that the 2015 finals is a black mark on LeBron's legacy. The Cavs lost Kevin Love in the first round and Kyrie Irving in Game 1 of the finals against the Warriors. But LeBron was so supremely impressive that Cleveland actually had a prayer of winning the series, which garnered him finals MVP votes despite
he still had a chance.
His averages were unreal, and Andre Iguodala won the award specifically because he kept LeBron from doing more damage. In 2017, after a super weird regular season, the Cavs flipped the switch and cruised to the finals against the new-look Warriors with Kevin Durant. LeBron became the first player to average a triple-double in the finals, but the Cavs lost in 5, keeping the Warriors from sweeping their way through the entire playoffs. In 2018, without Kyrie, LeBron had a run that was eerily similar to his 2007 streak. Game winners, crazy numbers, Game 7s, the whole thing. The culmination of the run happened in Game 1 of the finals. LeBron scored an earth-shattering 51 points.
I got J.R. Smith.
A chance to take a 1-0 lead in the series.
And we got an ad. What we got? What ad's gonna come up today, man? Like, what's going on? But yeah, man, forget the ad, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Like the video, comment to the video. You know what I mean? Why y'all not subscribed, bro? Like, I'm trying to figure out why some of y'all not subscribed, man. Like, we just it's wild, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button, man. Right below the video, man. That little red button where it says subscribe. Just hit that button, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? Alright.
And then this happened.
JR, that boy was on that weed, boy. That boy is crossfaded. That boy was drinking some Hennessy, had him some weed. Man, that boy was gone.
Regardless of the roster around him, we're not gonna play the what if game, but he's proven that he doesn't need the league's all-time leading scorer as a teammate or the Zen master as a coach.
Right.
He also doesn't need time off between finals. It took him 8 straight finals before he finally wore down. Give him any coach, give him any teammates, and by the sheer brilliance of his play, your team is now a championship contender. And I don't have to make the argument that 3 rings is more than 5 or 6 or 11, because that's not how we evaluate these players. We don't just look at ring totals. Otherwise, Robert Horry would be on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, hell no.
Yes, it's all about winning, but it's really not. We try to synthesize things like playstyle, competition, success, achievements, accolades, and the like into a more cohesive and complete picture. Just asking, did they win? Trying to argue for the greatest basketball player of all time is the wrong question, because, you know, it's a team sport. The better question to ask is which player gave their team the best chance to win? Who meant the most to their teams? And the answer to that question is LeBron James. Is there any better example of this than the 2016 finals? What other player in that situation would have been able to do what LeBron did? He didn't try to will his team to victory by just jacking up shots. He picked his spots perfectly, got his teammates involved, and inspired a belief
Interesting.
win despite the odds. The series is the perfect testimony to the value of LeBron James. They were facing the 73-9 Warriors, the best record in NBA history, single-digit losses in an 82-game season. Cap it off with a title, and they instantly have a claim as the best basketball team ever. And after the first 4 games of the series, they have a 3-1 lead. No team in that position had ever lost. That lead in that series has proven throughout history.
I'm not gonna lie. No, if that was Michael Jordan, they probably would not come back, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give that to LeBron.
LeBron matches him with 41 of his own, plus 16 rebounds and 7 assists. Tristan Thompson is the only other Cavalier in double digits. Game 6 in Cleveland, LeBron spearheads a blowout with another 41-point performance, with 8 rebounds and 11 assists to go along with it. The momentum of the series has palpably shifted.
Who's that, Curry? You little boy. Little boy, better little boy.
Something historic was going to happen, no matter how the game ended. Either the Warriors were about to cap off the most successful basketball season ever, or the Cavs were going to do the unthinkable. A 3-1 comeback, their first franchise title, Cleveland's first championship in 52 years, all made possible by LeBron James. A Cleveland win in Game 7 represented the single most significant feat that any player has ever achieved. The most anticipated high school basketball player in a lifetime, who became the chosen one 45 minutes away from the team that would draft him, who took that team to brand new heights, who broke that city's heart in an astonishing way, came back to try to make things right, and was now 1 game away from fulfilling his promise in an unprecedented comeback against a record-breaking opponent. He isn't Michael Jordan. Don't expect him to be. He's not Magic Johnson either. He's not Larry Bird or Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain. He's LeBron James, the most valuable basketball player ever. The most complete basketball player who's ever lived. The greatest basketball player of all time.
Man, that was man. I don't know what to say about that, bro. Like, I can't, like, wow. That was tough. That's tough, man. I'll give credit for that, bro. Like, I'm not listen, bro. I'm not saying listen. I'm not like saying Jordan's the GOAT, meaning like LeBron is trash, bro. Like LeBron is still a great player, bro. He's obviously, man, he's top 2, man. He has to be top 2. At the end of the day, listen, if you guys want to put LeBron as the GOAT, man, listen, I don't have any problems. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna argue with y'all saying that, you know, oh, then you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Hey, man, at the end of the day, it's your opinion, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Clayton said here, man, LeBron has a great case for being a GOAT. Like, and I'm not here to knock. I'm not here to knock all of them points, because all of these points are actually great points. For why he is the greatest of all time, man. I don't know what to say, man. Like, wow. Man, and that was a nice video, bro. I mean, I'm ready to subscribe to his channel. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's whatever y'all think, man. I could care less, man. If y'all think LeBron's the GOAT, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. Tell me who y'all think the GOAT is, man, in the comments down below. Tell me what y'all think about the video. If there's any other videos you want me to react to, man, just put that in the comments down below as well, man. I'll get right back to it, man. But yeah, without further ado, I think that's my cue, man. So I'm out.